Welcome to 15 Minutes with Dad. I'm your host, Lirec Williams, author of Man Up From Our Trauma to Being Impactful Fathers. This podcast is about real fatherhood at every stage, the kind that isn't filtered, perfect, or easy. It's about being present, having a presence, growing through the tough moments, and leading with purpose even when life gets messy. Every episode, we talk about the things that matter most: emotional healing, parenting resilience, co-parenting, being a spouse, and learning how to build homes rooted in love and accountability. If something you hear in this conversation helps you grow, I want to hear from you. Share your story, your wins, or the areas you're still working on. Email me directly at Lirec, L-I-R-E-C, at 15minuteswithdad.com. That's Lirec, L-I-R-E-C, at 15minuteswithdad.com. Because this podcast isn't just a platform, it's a community. And every story we share brings another father closer to healing, connection, and legacy. So let's get into today's episode. Hey brothers, thank you for being here with me today, whether you're in the United States, whether you're in Mexico, Canada, Europe, Eastern or Western Europe, or any other country that this podcast reaches. Thank you for being listeners, and thank you for being here with me today. Today, we're going to go deep. We're going to talk about a pattern that many men fall into, and sometimes without knowing it: the Martyr Dad. The idea that being a father means nothing but sacrifice and always doing more, always receiving less, and waiting for an I love you or a thank you 40 years down the road. But what if that story is broken? What if it's costing more than it's giving? That's what we'll explore today and through the rest of this series. We're calling this series The Aligned Father, Redefining Manhood, Love, and Legacy. And in this episode, we're going to understand why sacrifice isn't always the same as love. Let's tap in. When I say the Martyr Dad, what I mean is a father who defines his value by his sacrifice. You work late, you miss games, you skip rest, you put your dreams on hold, you think you're doing what fathers should do. But there's also a flip side, because research shows that sacrifice without healthy boundaries can lead to burnout, resentment, and emotional disconnect. A good example from a Medical News Today article on the martyr complex defines how sacrificing one's own need repeatedly can erode well-being and relationships. And there's this other in editor's piece in the New Republic that says parenting grounded in sacrifice alone may make children feel they caused their parents' life to become harder. In other words, the idea of sacrifice as love can backfire. So if you're listening and thinking, man, I do so much for my family and they don't even act grateful, you're not alone. But you might be paying a high price for being the martyr. So let's talk about why this pattern shows up in men. Why are so many men drawn into this martyr role? It starts with cultural messaging. So be the provider, protect at all costs, don't show weakness. These narratives push men into doing rather than being. Then there's the stress. There's one article, The Invisible Burden, Understanding the Stress of Fathers. It highlights how many dads feel pressure to provide financially, emotionally, and physically, and thereby neglect their own needs. And finally, there's the identity. If your identity is wrapped up in sacrifice, being the one who gives everything, you might believe that letting yourself enjoy rest or ask for love is selfish. But here's the truth. Sacrificing your joy and neglecting your emotional presence isn't the same as loving your kids. In fact, a father's health and involvement matter not just for the child, they matter for the father too. For example, research shows fatherhood impacts men's health and physical health. We basically live longer. And when we subscribe to martyrdom, we erode our capacity to lead well, connect deeply, and love fully. Now let's unpack some common patterns that many dads mistake for love, but might actually be building distance. Number one, missing today for tomorrow's payoff. You skip moments now thinking you're investing in their future. But relationship trust is built in the moment, not the promises. So when you have a moment to spend with your child or show up for your child, show up. In some cases, you have to go to that. You have to go to job. You have to go to that work, that occupation you have. But at sometimes, there may be a day you have to take PTO or take UTO to be there for your child, because at the end of the day, believe it or not, they don't care about the money. Yes, the money does give them opportunities to do the things that they love to do. But in some cases, if we're making minimum wage, is the juice worth the squeeze, for real? Is making $50 worth missing this moment that your child is like pouring into something that they love to do? That's the question for you. I'm not giving you a question that I'm having the answer to. I'm just giving you questions to think about. Number two, always giving and never receiving. When you believe your worth is in what you do, not who you are, your emotional battery drains. Some of us, and I was having a conversation with somebody the other day about birthday celebrations. And they said, people won't know how to treat you unless you treat yourself that way. Or it was more worded like, people will treat you as best as you treat yourself. So if on your birthday, and this is most of us, I believe that most of us, somebody asks us, what do you want for your birthday? We'll be like, I don't know, or nothing, or, like something of the sort. And we'll end up getting a pair of socks or a tie, or a sweater. And if we would just have spoken up, or we actually celebrate our birthdays in a big way, it gives a space for people to actually celebrate with us. And that's just an example of how we tend to not set up a space to receive. It's not always just speaking up, but it's also how you treat yourself. Number three, this is a big one, silent suffering. When you carry guilt and pain quietly, your kids might assume your unhappiness is their fault, or that emotion is weaknesses. And your partner might also think that your unhappiness is their fault, because you're not talking about what's going on. It could be just your day. And I learned this quite early in my past relationship. I was coming home and the energy in the home was off. And everybody was like, irritable or feeling down. It was because I was coming home that same way. But when I started letting people know, like, okay, I didn't have a good day, and most of my good days wasn't because it was tough. It was because I was overprocessing, imposter syndrome, a lot of different other things, but I was suffering silently, and I did not speak out to my family. So it's important that you don't get support, get therapy, or whatever form of support that you require in your life. Get that. Your mental health matters for the sake of your family, your relationships, and any relationship you get in the future. Number four, unspoken expectations. This is a big one. A lot of us tend to kind of, what they call it, it's a saying that says happy wife, happy life. But we don't actually go in setting our own expectations. And we expect them to know how to love us or how to treat us because we are a man. You should treat me like this. You should respect me like this. You should do this, and but there's other places that we don't talk about, like, hey, this makes me feel like you love me. This makes me feel like you are pouring into our relationship. This is my love language. This is all, like, you do a lot, but you want gratitude, acknowledgement, and love in return. And when it doesn't come, resentment builds. We start calling people ungrateful. We start calling our kids, when they get older and adults, that, they just missed the mark. They don't care about it. They just selfish and all. We kind of generalize all these feelings because we never actually spoke our expectations out. These don't feel wrong at first. They feel normal. But over time, they chip away at connection. And here's how your children often experience it. They feel loved for what you do, but not who you are. They feel your absence even when you're present. And we don't want that. They were like, well, that's dad. That's just how dad is. He speaks his mind. He loves us, but he don't know how to show it. So how do we redefine this for healthy fatherhood? It starts with aligning sacrifice with love, not martyrdom. So here are 3 clarifying shifts. From quantity to quality. From giving everything to giving appropriately. From expecting thanks to seeking connection. So let's dive into from quantity to quality. So instead of hours of work you can't enjoy, choose moments of presence you fully engage in. When I'm spending time with my kids, I'm looking them in their eyes, laughing. I'm going into the imaginary world that they're creating, and I'm fully present in it. Whether it's my toddler or my 17-year-old, I am in there. And we are going through their life and, laughing and joking like once a year on my daughter's birthday. For sure, I am in whatever it is that she likes. We usually go to a concert of some sort. And at this concert, we dress up whatever, even if I don't know the artist, I spend a month before the concert learning about all the things about that artist so that I can be prepared and I can be present and I can sing along with her at these concerts. Most of these artists I didn't know until that month. Some of them I knew, but didn't really dive into their music. But I dive all the way in. For my son, when we go to the park and we're playing or we're taking a walk, he likes to be a Power Ranger sometimes. So I go into his Power Ranger space and we're morphing the whole walk. Morphing and unmorphing, doing ninja keys, all that good stuff. Like I'm all in. From giving everything to giving appropriately, your role isn't to pour from an empty cup. Self-care isn't optional. It is mandatory. I usually give this scenario of like, of who you are. You are like, think of yourself as this vase or this vase, and you are sitting on top of a saucer or a little plate, and your heart is the inside of this vase, and you're pouring water into this vase, and that water is representative of the love that you have that's available. You're pouring this water. I tell people that when you're pouring this water into your vase, like in order for you, like the saucer, the plate under that vase is everybody else outside of you. You are the vase. Everyone else is that plate that's under the vase. The only way that you cannot pour water directly onto the plate without pouring first into yourself. You have to overflow water into this vase, or love into this vase, into yourself, so that water will spill over onto that saucer or onto that plate. And you cannot pour into anyone else from an empty vase. Overflow your vase with love, loving yourself, showing up for yourself in different ways, providing yourself the things that you need and not expecting people to know what you need and to just keep you going like you're a car. Oh, just get me an oil change and I'll be good. No, you're a vase. You're pouring into this vase and you're overflowing love so that all the love that you're able to give on that saucer would be abundance and not a deficit. If you take your vase, you pick it up and you like, let me just pour out from the vase and give love. That's what we're doing right now. We're giving everything. But to give appropriately means that you are overflowing yourself with love so that love can flow into your family and to the people that you want to give that love to. From expecting thanks to seeking connection, love doesn't come with an invoice. Your children's emotional safety and your partner's emotional safety and growth are the reward. This is supported by researchers like Natasha Cabrera, who found father involvement matters for children's emotional and language development. When your involvement comes from a place of being and not just doing, you start modeling what it means to love and be loved. And you have to advocate for that sometimes. All right, brother, let's get practical. Here are 5 steps you can start this week. First thing, I want you to check your narrative. What are you creating out there? Write down this sentence. Being a good father means ... fill in the blank. Then cross out the words doing more, earning more, giving more. Replace with words like being present, listening, and loving. Just an example. The second thing I want you to do is ask yourself, what am I sacrificing? Identify 1 to 3 things that you've given up for the family, but makes you feel empty. It could be a hobby. It could be rest. It could be connection. It could be a sport that you like to do. Maybe you like to golf. Number 3, I want you to set a boundary. I want you to choose one sacrifice you'll stop this week. Maybe you skip overtime one night. Maybe you rest rather than hustle. Maybe you'll pick up that golf club or that baseball bat. Number 4, I want you to seek acknowledgement, not from your kids or your partner, but from yourself. I want you to affirm to yourself, I am enough. I am present. I love my children with my whole heart. I love my spouse or my partner with my whole heart. And then the last, I want you to connect emotionally. Ask your child, what's one thing I did this week that made you feel seen by me? And then sit back and listen. And then share one thing that you want to feel loved for. And when you do these things, you shift to martyr to mentor, from silent suffering to emotional leadership. So why is this important for your family's future? When you choose presence over martyrdom, it changes everything. Your partner sees a man who values himself and the family, not a martyr who resents his role. Your kids see a father who is dependable, not just because he shows up, but because he connects. Your legacy becomes one of love and alignment, not exhaustion and expectation. And your own health gets a chance, because continuing in the martyr pattern leads to the emotional burnout, physical stress, and even mental health decline. This is generational healing, not just for your children, not just for your partner, but for you. So here's your challenge this week. Sit down with your journal or voice memo, and I want you to write or say things like this. I am more than what I do. I am loved. I am present. I am enough. These are affirmations. Then I want you to pick one thing you'll stop doing for a week and one thing you'll choose instead that affirms your presence. When you choose you choose your family. And that's that. That's the death of the Martyr Dad. That's the beginning of the aligned father. I'm Lirec Williams, and this is 15 Minutes with Dad. Brother, I see you. Keep growing, keep aligning. Your family will feel the difference. And just like that, we've hit an end of another epic journey here at 15 Minutes with Dad. I'm your host, Lirec, and I am thrilled to have shared this time with you. But guess what? The conversation is far from over. Want to dive deeper into the Dadverse? Check out our website at 15minuteswithdad.com and join our vibrant community on Instagram, Discord, and TikTok for your daily dose of dad inspiration, camaraderie. And here's something special. Subscribe to our newsletter at 15minuteswithdad.com for exclusive goodies and behind-the-scene peeks you won't find anywhere else. Got a burning question or a dad moment that made you proud? We're all ears. Submit your questions and share those special moments with us for a chance to be featured and shout out on our show. It's your time to shine in our dad community, so tap in with our Discord, and our server is at 15 Minutes with Dad. So tap in for that, engage with the community, and you will be featured on our show. Each week we will do another feature, so join in. Love today's episode. Spread the love by sharing it with a friend and leaving us a review. Let's get the word out and grow our awesome dad family, because guess what? When you give us a review and you rate our podcast, you give everybody the chance to enjoy what you've enjoyed about this podcast as well. So mark your calendars, because new episodes drop every Thursday of the week. Ready for more heartwarming stories, laughs, and dad wisdom? We can't wait to have you back. But until next time, keep being the amazing dad you are. Every day is a new adventure and every moment is special. Catch you on the next episode. Love, peace, and chicken grease.